Oh,
How's all my girls out there in YouTube land today? We got Michele, Scott, and Brandy Lynn on the panel. And we're going to bring you a bunch of crafting today. Before we get started here, though, I wanted to bring to your attention that down in the little description thing underneath the video, I've put some channels that y'all need to subscribe to if you're not subscribed to them already. Michele's channel's down there, Crafting Mama's channel's down there, 70 Acre Studios channel's down there, and I don't know, I can't even remember. It's been a couple hours ago, and there's been a lot of water going under the bridge in the last couple hours. So whatever I got down there, if you're not subscribed to those channels, you need to subscribe to them. This way you'll stay informed on what's going on in the crafting circle that we're in, and you know, everybody needs subs to their channels, and even if you're not intending to watch all their videos, it's still important for us to support each other and you know, get on those channels and subscribe. And then from those channels, maybe you'll learn some other channels that will interest you in whatever your endeavors are in the crafting realm. I think everybody knows by now I'm extremely eclectic when it comes to crafts, and I get involved in everything under the sun. This poor studio looks like a craft store has done blowed up in here. So Brandy was hanging with me a little bit this past week when I was attempting to clean this joint up, and well, I made a little headway, but I ain't done yet. And I found a lot of things that I forgot I had, and brought back a bunch of memories, and also jogged me on some things that I can bring to y'all's attention that maybe will help you with your mojo. I've heard some people say that they've lost their mojo, that they are lost in the crafting realm. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where to start. And maybe this will give you some ideas on things that you already have in your house that you can run with as far as your crafting is concerned. So I think first here we'll go to Michele and let her talk to y'all and tell you what all she's got on her crafting table and say good evening to everybody. Take it, Michele.
hello, ladies. How is everyone? Where'd my chat go? Every time I click on me, my chat leaves. Okay, there we go. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Michele. Hi, Shell. Hi, Rose. Hi, ladies. Hi, everyone. I'm working on my butterfly journal all except today. I took the day off today. Yeah. Forgot about Brenda's show. I said goodnight on my page, and then as soon as I said it, I said, Jay, I got a live show at 8. He goes, yeah, with Brenda, and he knows my schedule better than I do. I can't, losing your mojo, that's rough. I feel it. I've been there. I've done it. It happens. Lots of crafty ways to get your mojo back. Go on Pinterest for one. Get in that vortex. I know I spend hours in there sometimes, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It overloads you with ideas, and you're like, what the heck to do? But anyways, I worked on this chunky charm this weekend. I have the proper tools now. Thank you, Susan Zielinski. I am making paper bags for my flower journal that I'll be going live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. Hi, Pamela. I been printing out like crazy printouts for my butterfly journal, making some tags, things like that. I have 2 signatures so far in it. She's gonna be fat and chunky just like I like her. So that's what I've been up to this weekend, really. And then today I just kind of laid around and did nothing. It was kind of nice. So now, Brandy, why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
Okay, hey guys. I know you can't see me right now. I guess I need to sort of invest in this whole camera thing since we're doing it this way now. See, I get tossed around and turned every which way, and nobody tells me what's going on. But that's just how it is. I've actually been hunting and gathering for craft supplies. So I could actually give you guys some good tips. Hey, Rose, how are you? Some tips on actually how to utilize things from other places that you don't necessarily have to go to the craft store and purchase. Because we all know how expensive the freaking craft stores can be. So that's going to be me, nothing special. I'll just give tips. If anybody has any questions, just let me know. And, you know, I'm here for commentary and comedy as well. So, Brenda?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty, so what do you want to do now? I know you've got a lot of stuff to do.
I'm clicking on you, Brenda.
Yeah, everybody click on me. I've got a whole table.
I'm in the pose to stare.
I've got a whole table full of stuff.
Chat.
I did a frame here a few weeks ago for Lee's Victorian Designs on a challenge that she put out. It's a frame I had laying around here that it needed some help. It was all scratched up and scraped up. So I took some scrapbook paper and put around a frame and glued it down. And then I had some Prima flowers and I put them around it. And I took some flatback pearls and put on it. And that really dressed this little frame up. Then I thought, well, okay, what am I going to put in here? Something will pop up. I'll be going through some stuff and find something. I found this little postcard with this little girl. I'll try to get it up here where you can see it better.
Rick, I thought that was you. I swear to God, I thought that was you when you were a baby.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord, no, that wasn't me. It's a postcard that I found.
Oh.
Yes, Michelle, that's me and my ass.
I swear I thought it was you. I was like, you're so cute.
That's me and my ass.
What is it, you ass?
It's a very cute ass.
Well, that was a cute little picture to put in that frame. So I put that in there. Then I had this this pour that Melissa sent me for my birthday, and I put that in a frame, and on the outside of the glass here, I put one of these poured flowers that she does. And she put this little gemstone in the middle of it. And on the sides of it, the pour wasn't quite big enough to fill the frame. So on the sides of it, I cut a couple strips off of one of those painting papers that she sent me and put that on for a border on it. And I thought that was real pretty. I'm going to hang that on the wall.
I love it. I love those flowers.
So that gives you an idea of some things. You know, go through some of your stuff, and you know, those of you that are doing drawings or paintings or you know, whatever you do, and even mixed media, you know, look what you got and see what needs to be framed up and hung on the wall.
With a nail.
Yeah, with a nail, Brandy.
With a nail. I swear to God, I thought that was you, Brenda.
You can go to the Walmart store and they sell nails at the Walmart store.
Yes, they do. And Brenda was kind enough to send me some so I can hang my artwork. And I
you can
cried
get
for
some
it.
nails and hang up your stuff on the wall.
I got some stuff hung up.
Got some, Brandy.
Oh, then something else I've been working on this week is
Ooh, so pretty.
some of these.
Oh, I like those.
Now, this is so simple that you guys are going to kick yourselves for not thinking of this. But all it is watercolor paper. You put down a rubber stamp on that watercolor paper, and then you go over it with your watercolor pens.
That's gorgeous. You did that? That's beautiful.
Then the
I
outside of this is just cut on the die cutter. I had an oval die, and I cut out a frame and did it that way. Now, these can be framed up. I did a whole bunch of different ones. And that's
pretty.
This is rubber stamp art with watercolor.
I
Oh
love
my God. Oh, she's so cute.
it.
And
Aww.
that's what those are. Let's say I got another one down here.
Hi, Jada.
And I put them in these plastic bags to protect them so they don't get scratched up and everything flying around here.
Now,
On my
what do you use to mat those with? What's those matted with?
Right. Well, these are just the the paper with the it's just colored paper I used on the outside of them. I don't even have these on chipboard. This one I put on chipboard, but the rest of them I haven't even put on chipboard yet.
Oh, these are adorable. Crafty, Brenda.
If you even if you happen to have, and I'm sure just about everybody probably has one of these adult coloring books laying around that's got stuff in it that you can color. Get out your pens and color some of that stuff. Or, you know, some of these coloring books, they have them both front and back. Okay, so what you do is you put it through a printer, a copy machine, and just copy whatever one you're wanting to color. And that way you keep your coloring book. You can go back and, you know, whichever ones you really like, or somebody wants a copy of it or whatever, run another copy and color another one. But, you know,
That's a great idea. I have one of those.
And there's a lot of these really be pretty, put in a frame, hung on the wall, given as a gift. If you don't, you know, you've got somebody, you don't have a lot of money. What's it cost at the store to get a copy? Like, I don't know, a dime or something? You know, if you don't have a copy machine at home, take it up to the copy center and run it through the copy machine for a dime. Bring it home, color it up, mat it up, you know, with some cardstock, put it on some chipboard, stick it in a frame, and that's a gift.
Hey, Brenda.
Yes, ma'am.
He wants to know if you can show everybody that Peacock stamp that you used.
Hang on. It is
Oh, little crafts. That's a cute idea. That's so sweet. It's for your daughter.
It's an acrylic stamp. I've got 3 of them here in this set. No, those are the girls. Hang on. Where's my peacocks?
Look how organized you are.
There's peacocks.
I know, right?
And I got these, I think, either from AliExpress or Wish.
I get a lot of mine from AliExpress.
So, you know, check out AliExpress and Wish for your rubber stamps or acrylic stamps. And, you know, get you some rubber stamps and do some artwork. Or go to you can always keep your eye open at the thrift stores, at Goodwill. Rubber stamps are everywhere. Get you some rubber stamps. Look for the ones mainly with the open areas on them. Because if they've got a bunch of closed areas, like let's say for instance this little girl, if the area here where her hair was, if that was all closed, if her closed area was all closed on the rubber stamp, that's just going to stamp out black. It's hard to do anything when it's stamped out black. The Peacock would be a pretty good example of, you know, back here where the wings are, that all stamped out black, and I went over it with the blue to lighten it up a little bit, but you can't do a whole lot in the black areas. I had another one here, and I don't know what I did with it, that I had played with trying to get it to lighten up. It came out, gosh, I don't know where I put it. There's so much stuff everywhere here that it's hard telling where I put it.
Brenda, Rose said that you're encouraging her to buy again.
Yeah, I don't know where I put that other rubber stamp, but it was also a peacock, but mostly it was all black. So it was very difficult to try to do anything with, and I didn't like the way it turned out. So it kind of got shoved in a pile here someplace. I don't know where I put it. But yeah, look for the ones with the open areas on them. In this one, on the tail, it was just the lines going down. Well, I colored all that in with the green to fill in the peacock's tail. And that helped it come out a little bit better. But yeah,
Great.
when you look for the rubber stamps,
I like
look for
that.
the ones that open.
That's an awesome idea.
And so there's an idea for you to get your creative juices a flowing. Then let's see what else we got here. Well, I did this wreath. I put some pictures of this on Facebook for those of you that hang on Facebook.
Yes! The spiders, they look so good.
This is 100 yards of tulle.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, 100 yards of
And it
tulle.
is just the metal frame wreaths. You can get these metal frames for $2 at Walmart. And I got 100 yards of the tulle, which was, let's see, about $9, I think, for the tulle. And then I'd already made these beaded spiders. I thought that would make a cute Halloween wreath to hang on the door. And this green is not showing up as green as it is. I'm telling you, it's neon. Pop your eyeballs out green. And black and orange for Halloween. So that's the Halloween wreath that I made. And they're not hard to make. It took me about an hour.
Nice.
Wow. So that's
I have to do a tutorial on that because I've actually never made a wreath before.
I've never made one.
We'll put that on the agenda of things to do then.
Yeah, I've never made one either. That's interesting.
Last night I was working on ATCs for Halloween. And I put some of them up on the Facebook, but I did 52 of them. That's a deck of cards.
Oh my gosh.
All different kinds of ATCs for Halloween.
Ooh, pretty. Oh, look at the eyeballs.
Now, all I did, this is so simple. I mean, you know, y'all just gonna kick yourselves. I had a catalog for, I think it was Grandin Road catalog, where they sell all kinds of stuff for holidays and everything. And so what I did is I just took the card and I took some glue stick and put it all over the card, and then I would put the card behind the picture that I wanted and get it lined up good. I a lot of times had to hold them up to a light. You know, if you hold it up to a light, you can see through and make sure your card's lined up where you want it on the paper. And then I just glue it down, turn the paper over, and cut around the card. And I'd have my image on there. And then I went through and I found, you know, some kind of a word that I wanted to put on it. And I'd cut the word out and stick that on them. And that's how simple those are to do.
Did you sand those down first at all, any of your cards, or do you just leave them glossy?
Just left them as they are.
They turned out awesome.
I love that Psycho one.
And it, you know, if anybody wants to trade ATCs with me, all you got to do is get in touch with me, and you know, we'll work out a trade on ATCs.
There you go, little crafts creation.
And I'm easy to find. You can leave a comment here in the box on how to get in touch with you, or you can find me on Facebook. It's Brenda, and then the .gibson .71 in the Facebook search, and that'll bring up my page. Friend me on there, and you can chat with me through the messenger on Facebook, and we'll get information traded so that we can trade cards. But yep, there's 52 in this deck, so I got some to trade.
Hey, Brenda.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a newbie in here, and her name is Chroma Storm Arts, which is an awesome name, but she's wondering what you do with the ATCs.
Well, with ATCs, that you typically trade ATCs with other crafters, other artists, and a lot of people set up books so that they can trade their cards back and forth with each other and keep track of the cards. You put your information on the back of the cards, typically. I mean, some people decorate both sides and then just sign the card, and that's okay too. I've got some little labels around here that I put on the back of mine with my information, and that way you keep other people's art. They're good prompts. for people that are losing their mojo, you know, and you can go through cards a lot of times and see what people have done and different things. I've got some, well, here we go, around here somewhere, and I don't know where they went right now, that I had gotten for 4th of July from a lady I did a trade with, and she does a lot of different kinds of artwork, and hers were 3-dimensional. So, I mean, you can, whatever kind of art you want to do, mixed media, you can do shabby chic, you can do watercolors, you can do acrylic painting, you can do rubber stamp art, whatever kind of art you want to do, you can do on an ATC. That's what makes ATC so special. And trade them with other crafters. That way you get a little piece of their craft in your ATC journal.
Nice.
I use mine for tags.
Yeah, you can use them for tags.
I put words and stuff and paper napkins on mine.
You can put them in albums like this. This is just a photo album that I got for $6 at the dollar store. Now, I altered mine and made it look all fancy, and I keep my rubber stamps in there. But you can also use these for recipes. You can use them for ATCs. You can use them, obviously, for pictures. You can use them as a note holder for, you know, say you got different kinds of pens and stuff that you want to test out. So you test them out and you write down whatever your results are, what you found, you know, like you might say, well, this works good on watercolor paper, but it doesn't work good on, you know, some other kind of paper. Just, you know, make your notes and stuff. Keep your notes in your journal. And that way, when you go to use those again, you might not use them for a while. And when you go back, oh, gee, I can't remember what those worked well on and what they didn't. You come back to your journal where you kept all your information on those things that you purchased and say, oh, okay, I remember now. That's what that was good for, or what it didn't work on, or, you know, whatever. And that way you know what to use. So there's an idea for you. Let's see here. Which way do I want to go next? You remember those foil stars we were working on last week?
Yes.
Well, there's another kind of a star that you can make with them, but these I made with the Renia dies. Now, the ones I made last week I did with their stencils. You
okay,
could do
die cuts.
Yeah, these make die cuts. The stencils you could also use for this design as well. You just have to cut out the circles and then cut the lines, you know, like we did last week. Is the only difference in it. But this star, now this is only half of it because you put the other half on the back to make it full. But this star, this is, see if it shows up here. It's red and green and gold.
I like it.
And that Renia is calling this the 3-dimensional star. That's what it looks like from the back side before you glue the other half on it. But you put the other half together, and then you've got a 3-dimensional ornament. You know, you put a string in the middle of it when you glue it together, and you can hang it on the tree or hang it in a window or whatever you want to do with that. So that's something that I was playing with this week. And
I like
That's very cute.
a different effect than the stencil did.
yeah, it's, well, and it's curled different. With the other one, we curled one side, like, well, here's a template. We curled one side of it with the thing, and then we went to the other side of it and curled in the other side on the star that we made last week, so that we had it curled going both directions. This one, what they want you to do is you lay your pencil or your, in this case it's a paintbrush handle, on one corner of it, and then when you roll it around so that you end up with a point.
That's cool. I like it like that.
That's cool. I like that.
You just do it one time. You're laying your paintbrush or whatever in there, and then you're rolling it around the thing, and you end up with a point on your petal. I'm going to call them petals. So that way you just end up with one instead of it curling on both sides. And with this one, the way they did it is you had a big one, you had two medium-sized ones, and two small ones. And when you stack them, you end up with this. And then once you get two of them done, put your string or, you know, hanging utensil, whatever, wire, whatever you're putting in the middle of it, and then you glue it and you push them together, and you would have a three-dimensional star. So that is another idea from Renia for the foils. And I'm not paid by Renia. I'm not a Renia spokesperson or anything. I just like their products because I like the foil. This is another deal that I was playing with the other day.
Hey, Brenda, the guys, Sean, his name is Peddler's Medley.
Yeah, Sean.
The spray paint art.
Yeah.
He's saying, what is that called? Like a Polish star?
Renia calls this a three-dimensional star.
Okay, so no fancy name.
3D rolled star, to be exact, is what they're calling it.
We have a lot of new faces in here tonight.
No,
that's good. Welcome to everybody. Looks like we got 23 in the room right now. That's great. And if you're not subscribed, please sub the channel. And you might give it a thumbs up too. I'd appreciate that. Be mighty nice of y'all if you do that.
We have fun here in Crazy
Not us. No way.
This is something else I was playing with the other day, was the wired ribbon. I made wire ribbon butterflies.
Too pretty. I love the diamante in the middle.
Well, this is something else that is so easy that it's ridiculous.
Hi, Mandy.
You take wire ribbon.
And then I can't do it.
Oh, geez, Michelle, if you can't do this, I swear I'm going to disown you. You do 6 inches or thereabouts. I mean, you know, you can rough cut it. But let's see. We'll just eyeball this here on the tape measure.
A good 6 inches, Michelle.
That's 6 inches. And then you cut another.
So you get a total of 12 inches.
That's right.
Hey.
And then you take a little piece of wire. And I had a roll of it up here. There we go. And I use fine wire. And I usually wind off way more than I need. But you're going to make the antennas out of it too. So you take a little piece of wire. You gather this up in the middle. And you take your wire. It's going to look like a hot mess here for a second until I get the wire wrapped around it. I wrap the wire around a couple times, good and tight. Then I twist it around each other. I can find it. There it goes. Then I take my 2 pieces of ribbon and pull them out to make the wings.
Hi, Diana.
Now Michelle is in trance. I can tell by her fingers.
I know, right? Like I totally just stopped. I'm like,
Oh, that's so cool.
Just 2 pieces of wired ribbon that you do that way. Then you got your 2 little pieces of wire. And I love my paintbrush handle. I take my paintbrush handle and I wrap 1 piece of the wire around it. Just make a little coil. That's going to be the top of the little butterfly's antenna. Now my other one's way too long, so I'm going to cut that back some. Get rid of that. And then I take this end and I wrap it around the paintbrush handle and coil it. Make the other end of the antenna like so. Then I took a little piece of just about, well, ½ inch of the ribbon off the end of the spool and folded it in half. And then I glued that right down to the center. And I took a little flat back and put on for the head. And that's how you make the little butterfly.
Linda
Isn't
said,
that cute?
Linda said in red it would be really nice on a Christmas tree.
I've got red and green over here for making them, but I did the little purple ones the other day. I don't know, purple just kind of stood out to me, so I did them in purple. But yeah, you can do them in any color you want to. Put them on presents, birthday presents, Christmas presents, teacher presents, you know. That holidays are coming up. Everybody's got teachers they're going to have to be making presents and stuff for. And here's another idea for you while I'm on the wired ribbon kick. If you need to make a teacher's gift, every teacher uses pencils.
Get her a
So
cootie catcher.
You take a pencil and you figure out how deep you're going to want to make this. Okay? About yay so deep. And then you would cut this off. Okay, you made this double, okay, front and back. You're going to run a bead of glue on the inside of this, on both sides, just a little bead of glue. Put some pencils on the inside. You can decorate your pencils. I decorate mine with washi tape. You can decorate them up with red and green washi tape, or, you know, put foil on them, or whatever you want to put on them. Make them fancy for the teacher. Put fancy erasers on them, whatever you want to do, and stick them in this little pouch. And then all you have to do is just fold the top down. This is wired ribbon. You don't have to put a fastener on it. It's wired ribbon.
That's something Jaden can do.
Yeah. Quick, simple, easy. You don't have to spend all weekend working on it.
Huh.
But, you know, teachers use these, and then they can, if they use the pencils out of them, they can use this as a bookmark.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea, too.
Oh, for the male teachers, I know what we can do. You can make the berry bags for the male teachers.
Yeah, now there's a question. How many of you made your berry bags this week? I want to see in the in the chat room how many people made berry bags this week. Public service. Michele is probably lost. Michele, did you watch the
lost. I wasn't here last week.
Well, you could at least watch the show back. Lord have mercy.
I watched like into an hour of it.
Well, you didn't watch far enough.
You might want to fill her in on what a berry bag is, Brenda.
Well, okay, it's a public service, and I got this sort of by listening to Shelley. So, you know, I guess if we have to blame somebody, we can blame Shelley. But Shelley said that we don't talk nearly enough about issues, you know, women's issues and that sort of thing. You know, we don't share ideas. And we keep a lot of things quiet and secret and to ourselves. And that's not, you know, something that we should be doing. We should talk about these things. And I said, so I have something that I'd like to bring up. I brought up about the Tata towels.
Tata towels.
Have you seen the Tata towels, Michele?
No.
Oh my God.
Okay. This thing, they got them on the internet. You'll have to do a search on them to probably really get the effect of this. But it is like a towel that you put around the back of your neck, like you would a halter top. And
oh, yes, I have seen the Tata towels.
Yeah, it comes down over one side of you, and the other one comes down
Yep.
over the other side of you, and then they have elastic under them. Okay?
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
they don't have no strap in the back. They don't have no strap to hold the two cups together in the front. Nothing, you know, they're just kind of hanging out there in the breeze. And now Brandy said, well, it's supposed to keep ladies from being so sweaty, you know. And I said, well, I don't know. Maybe they're, you know, for gravity, so that, you know, gravity doesn't keep you swinging in the wind. And I said, maybe, you know, women are not the only ones that are bothered by gravity. I said, the fellas, you know, they kind of need some help too, especially as they get older. So I've got this idea, and, you know, anybody can use this and run with it if they want to, as long as they give me credit for my jingle, because I've got a jingle to go with this. I said, now what I want to call this thing would be the berry bag. And it helps the fellas, you know, keep things under control so that they're not bruising their knees or, you know, whatever the problem seems to be. And I said, so, yeah, we got this jingle that goes with it. Put your berries in the berry bag when they get old and start to sag. And then I showed how to make a lot of other things. Like I showed the filter flowers.
You showed how to make a berry bag?
And I didn't show them how to make the berry bag. They're on their own with the berry bag design. I've seen some of them come up with the roses and stuff that I made out of the coffee filters and stuff last week, but you have yet to see a berry bag design. So
I gotta do it.
I'm wondering where the berry bags are.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Well, now back to crafting.
Yeah,
I have been working on these things this week called zine journals. It is not the kind of zine journal that you make out of the scrapbook paper. You know, where you take the 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper and you fold it in half and you make the slit in the middle and you end up with the 4 pages thing. No, these are made out of real magazines. And I wish I knew who to give this credit for, but I don't. I watch so many videos, so many different things, and get these ideas. And I started playing with an idea that a gal had on one of her videos that I watched several days ago. And what she did is she took a magazine and she bent some of the pages in two, you know, folded them in two, and then she decorated some of the pages up, and she put the washi tape in. So I'll show you how she did this. You can use these for whatever you want to use them for. You can paint on the pages. You can use these as art journals to keep track of different things. You can doodle on them. You can draw on them. You can stamp on them. Anything you want to do. You could put plain paper in here and write on it, whatever you wanted to do with them. But I thought this was a cool idea, so I got to playing with this. And what she did is she'll take the cover and she'll... Okay, what's going on?
Susan's in the house.
Susan's in there. She made a berry bag yet?
Susan's in the house, so you know it's about to get raw. She said they're called Under the Butt Nut Hut. My God.
I thought that's what you called a jock strap.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, KK's husband was like, what are we talking about? And she, with the berry bag, so she had to explain to her husband.
Oh my God.
Well, anyway, you fold the cover in half. You take the next page and you rip it out. By the time you're done, you're going to rip out about 2/3 of this magazine. All right? You take the next page and you fold it into the center. You go to the next page and you rip it out. You take this page and you fold it to the inside. And you want to get this pretty close to the middle on the inside. You take the next page and you rip it out. And you take this page and you fold it into the center. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole magazine. I'm just showing you how to do this. All right?
Brenda,
Yes, ma'am.
if Sean said that if you make a berry bag for him, he promises to model it.
I'm going to make it out of this purple neon for Sean.
Oh my God.
Anyway, once you get through the magazine, you want to go like about 1/4 of the way from the front, and then you flip it over and you do 1/4 of the way from the back. And that way you keep everything even as you go through it. And when you get done with that, you end up with one that looks like this. Okay, and you just have your pages. Now, once you get this far with it, you're going to take your glue stick and you're going to run it around the top, the inside, and the bottom, and you're going to glue your pages down. Okay, and you do that on every page through the book. All right. Once you get all your pages glued down, and this is my favorite part. Once the pages is glued down, you take your tape, washi tape. You could use duct tape, I guess. You could use masking tape, whatever kind of tape you want to use. And you're going to run that right down the center here where the two pages comes together. Like this.
And
now,
why do we do that, Brenda?
Yeah, I'm going to tell them why. So you do that on every page, and if you're going to paint them with gesso or, you know, whatever paint you're going to paint them with, you got to have that tape in there to keep the paint out of your crack.
Hate painting my crack.
You don't want to get paint in your crack. It's a bad idea.
You don't want paint in your crack.
So you have to run the tape down the center to keep the paint out of your crack. Nobody wants paint in their crack. Now, even on the pages where, you know, they didn't come together, you know, you didn't fold them in, you still have to put your tape in there because you don't want to get paint in your crack.
Paint in the crack.
See, now it's not everybody that'll give you these kind of tips. And show you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
You know, you don't just go to any craft channel and then show you how to keep paint out of your crack.
Oh my God.
So once you get that done, then you're ready to start decorating on your book. And what I did with this one is I just went wherever there was words or stuff, and I took whatever scrap paper was in my scrap paper file and just started covering over the words. If there was pictures I liked, I left the pictures. But you could paint over it, whatever you want to do with it. Now, I'm not done with this one. I'm going to come back in with rubber stamps and probably inks and doodles and all kinds of things on these. But this just gives you an idea of things that you can do. See, if I found pretty pictures in books like this agate, then I cut them out and put them in. And there's the backing off of a die cut that I did. I put that in there. Just, you know, whatever I happen to have in the scrap bin, I put in there. Here's.
I get a ton of magazines from Recycle Bank, and I usually just some except cut, of course, ephemera out. But that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I've got, oh geez, I would venture to guess that there is probably at least 200 or more magazines that I got from a lady here in town.
Even gesso those pages, make like an art journal or something. That's really cute. I like that. And you won't get paint in your crack. That's even a bonus.
That's right. You know, here is a craft that you can do and not get paint in your crack.
That works for me. Works for me.
Brenda, KK said, be like Brenda, say no to paint in your crack.
That's right. That's right.
That's
you gotta
right.
say no to the paint in your crack.
The crack.
Then the other thing that I've thought about showing you all, and I found, this is what jogged my memory on this. When I was going through the magazines the other day, I found a page about marbleizing.
Ooh.
I used to marbleize.
Wow.
I have marbleized all kinds of stuff. And it is so much fun. It is so addictive. I didn't get paint in my crack. I got paint in my tub.
Did you get paint in your crack?
crack. This marbleizing is so much fun. You will be running all over your house looking for stuff that you can marbleize. But when you start doing this, it is so cool on marbleizing things, and it is so easy.
That's a lamp.
Yeah. I mean,
lamp. Huh?
You can marbleize all kinds of stuff. And I can do a demonstration for y'all on how to marbleize. You're going to need a tub.
Watch your crack.
You're going to need some water in your tub.
Sorry, y'all. She had to go really bad.
I got a piddle.
Now, you don't want to run the tub all the way up to the top because obviously you're going to be putting stuff in here and you don't want to overflow the tub. That is always a bad idea. Then you're going to need some paint. Is Rose still in the room?
Yes.
Tell her to pass me some paint.
Hey, Rose, get the paint out your closet.
Rose is hogging the paint. But you take some paint. Now, you can use whatever colors you want to use, depending upon what you're going to be marbleizing. And, you know, for demonstration purposes, it doesn't really matter that much. I'm going to start off with a dark color. Let's see, what is this? This is, doesn't tell me. Yeah, it does. It says it's licorice. So this is a black color. And
Blend.
get the lid open on it. That's the challenge. You're going to put a little paint in the water. Well, that's not doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to float on the top. Maybe if I shake it. Maybe this is going to be one of those where it doesn't go the way it's supposed to go.
You might have to do it like gently. I've had to do that with my nails before.
Well, now I got to get the lid back open on it.
You got your Home Depot paints yet?
Might have to thin out your paint too and let it sit on the top. Suck up some
Well,
of that water out there with your bottle.
let's see if we can stir it up, see if it'll do any different. Nope, still kind of laying on the bottom. Not really doing what it's supposed to do. I'd break it up if I had some borax, but I don't have any borax. This might be one of the things that goes horribly wrong. I might have to come back next week with some borax and get it to do it. Gee whiz. Well, let's try another color and see if this just... You have this going to the bottom too. Well, I don't know. It's kind of staying on top, a little bit of it. There it comes up. We'll keep playing with it and see what happens here. It can't do any more than go horribly wrong.
Play with it.
Ooh, look at the swirls. Now you're going to be buying more paint.
Well, I've got so much paint here that I think I could probably mess with it for a few years and still not use it all, but huh, well, that's just turning to mud. I don't like that at all. Hang on just a second and let me try putting some soap in it and see if soap will do any good.
We'll just talk amongst ourselves.
Talk amongst ourselves. She said, what a mess.
I mean, we're going to experiment. Let's just experiment, right?
They're called happy accidents.
That's true. But it would be nice
Anyone can figure it out. It's you, Brenda.
I know, right?
we put a little soap in there. I mean, we're going to get suds probably, but
Oh, that's what you can make. That sud bubble art.
we'll see if that'll help
Wash your hands.
raise the paint. What I'm hoping for.
You ain't got no shaving cream, do you, Brenda?
On the ones I put in, might do something on the ones I'm going to put in.
Yep, liquid starch would work too. Sassafrasication.
It ain't leaving it on the top.
That is an awesome name.
Shoot far. That ain't gonna marble nothing.
You need to add your paint bottle to thin it out and then light top.
I could, you know, see, these are all pretty full. So I don't know that I'm going to get much extender in them.
Try some of your paints that you have less in and don't stir it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Most of these are all pretty full.
Do you have any paint left over from your pours?
Well, yeah.
Because it's already thinned out.
We could try some of that, see if that'll work.
Oh God, is she throwing things?
Probably. I seriously thought that was her on that donkey. I swear to God.
Look at Brenda sitting on her fat ass.
I did. I thought that was you. I was like, that's such a sweet memory. And it's not even you. It's some random person sitting on an ass.
Yep. Well, Brandy, that's going to the bottom too. I need borax is what I need. Borax would bring all that right up.
Do you have any shaving cream?
No.
Damn.
With starch?
I don't think so.
Susan said next.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna work. But I'll tell you what, next week I'll be more prepared. By George will have some borax in here and we will do a marble pour. Because I ain't gonna let something like that lick me.
Rose, go to the corner.
Oh my gosh.
What's Rose saying now?
Rose said,
yes, this is how you make muddy water.
yeah, get some nail polish out.
Well, let's find the tub that's got the nail polish in it.
I want to see if this is going to work with all the paint.
Just don't stir it. And submerge your paper and pull it out.
Well, I know how to do marbleizing. I just need the paint.
Don't get paint in the crack. He said best muddy water tutorial on YouTube. I love it.
Well, Sean, we don't have any of your spray paint, so we can't use the spray paint.
Grabbed a handful of nail polish. We'll see what happens here.
Easy does her. There you go. Easy. Nice and slow.
Okay. And try this.
Might need a berry bag.
And
there you go.
This. I mean, this isn't going the way I wanted it to go because what you do is you put a few drops in and then it forms a circle and then you pour in the middle of the circle and then you pour the next color in the middle of that circle and then you drag through it with a skewer or a craft stick or something and then you can dip.
It might be because of either the soap or the paint that's making it separate though. So, I mean.
I don't know. That's not. See if this will pick up any paint. Chasing the paint around the tub.
It's like bobbing for nail polish.
That's right. Yeah.
Chasing.
Nail polish is just running from it. It got a couple little drops on the bottom of it, but that's it. That.
Berry pea.
That is a pitiful experiment right there. Lord have mercy.
Well, hey, we learned what not to do.
Yeah, you learned what not to do. I was good at showing you.
That's all right.
Hey,
Fiona said, what the hell have I walked in on?
Walked in on an experiment gone south.
Zombie vomit. That's
so we will just move that right off the table. Lord have mercy. But next week I will be a little more prepared. I thought this morning I needed to go to the store and get the borax to make that work. And I thought, it'll surely work without the borax. Well, I guess I found out, no, it does not work without the borax.
It's all good.
That's how we learn.
If you get 20 Mule Team borax from the laundry section of your grocery store, and you put that in the water, and then you put your paint in the water, it should be one big circle when you put your first drop in, and then you put your next drop in the center of that, and then you can go as many drops as you want to go and fill up the tub. Then you take your paintbrush handle or your skewer or whatever, and you just make lines through it. And then you take whatever you're dipping in it, and you dip right down. You move the paint out away from it with your paintbrush handle or whatever you're using. You pull it back up, and it's marbled. I have done things as big as mailboxes in marbling. You take a trash can, and you put your water in there, and then you put your borax and put your paint in, and you can marbleize all kinds of stuff. I've got a whole menagerie of things here that I was going to dip, but I can't dip them if I can't get the paint to work. So next week we will do something different. But that's...
Can you double dip, Brenda?
Yes, what's that?
Brandy, you never double dip.
Can you double dip? Well, it depends. It depends on how much paint you got left in your trough, and it depends on how much you've had to stir it up to get it off of whatever you put in there. If you still got plenty of paint, if it still looks like a good design on the top of the paint in your water trough, yes, you can dip in there. Otherwise, you may need to add some more paint or scrape the paint out of the pan with a piece of paper. You know, just drop it in the top of the pan and come across to pull that paint out and start with a new batch of paint. So, yes, you can use the paint over if you put a whole load in there.
Okay. I've done it with nail polish. I've just never tried it with actual acrylic paint. I've seen it done, and it's gorgeous, but I've always been too scared to do it.
Yeah, well, I've done the nail polish thing on my own nails before with the marbleizing, but usually you don't use acrylic paint. You know, you use the nail polish paint, which is a little different consistency. The only thing I can figure that it was missing was the borax.
What in the world is Rose talking about?
Oh, Rose is just cracking me up. She's on fire tonight.
Death Valley days with 20 Mule Team borax. Rose is from the old days. She knows what it is.
Was she around when you know?
Yeah, what about 10.5 Mule Team?
Lord of mercy.
Well, I'm glad, Fiona, that I put you asleep. That is so nice.
As far as I know, creations, you cannot use too much borax. I mean, you just, you know, for a tub like that, I would probably put in a couple tablespoons. If you're using a trash can, you know, a great big trash can to put a mailbox in, I would say you probably are going to use maybe 3 or 4 cups. You know, you're using quite a bit of borax. So it just depends on what size tub you're using. But you certainly don't want the paint going to the bottom of the tub. The paint should lay on the top of the water. And I guess that's what the borax does, is it makes the paint float.
Because it makes the water heavier.
Right.
Gotcha. All right.
Learned my lesson.
Ready for some magic? This is some magic.
Well, go ahead.
No, you do it. You're the magician.
I did my magic. I made mud in a pan.
Start that berry bag. Let's see it.
Yeah, Rose wants to know what spot, Brandy. Is this a trick?
No, it's not a trick. There's a pencil for every corner for Rose.
And Specky wants to know what the hell is a berry bag.
Oh my God.
You'll have to listen back to it. Maggie, you'll have to
Mine
listen
don't
back to
even
the
matter.
show or listen to last week's show. Oh, yeah. Kiki says y'all learning along with me. You learn what don't work as well as what does work.
That's right.
The more you know.
That's awesome.
She says she doesn't want to know now. You don't have them. Let's just leave it at that, Spanky. You ain't got them.
She said it's a man's nut sling, Spanky. I know, TMI. I am dying. Gross. Oh my God. Oh,
What other show are you going to go to and hear things like that?
I swear. A nut cut. Oh. I'm so glad Jaden has his door shut.
I'm glad none of your sons are on here.
And nut cup and oh my gosh.
Your son's not in here, is he?
No, he's got the door closed. A nut
No,
napping.
that's
Oh my
right.
God. A nut napping.
Well, I mean, if you girls were going to do a public service, what would you do?
Exactly.
Oh,
Everybody
my.
has an equal opportunity.
So you taught us how to keep paint out of our cracks.
That's
We got
right.
berry bags. We got Tata holders. We got cootie catchers.
I taught you how to make mud in the tub.
Mud in the tub. I mean, this is just, I mean, all points are covered here. Nothing is off limits.
Well, you know, Edison failed over 1,000 times when he was trying to make the light bulb. But yet, he finally succeeded and made the light bulb. So it's not how many times you try and fail. It's how many times you try and succeed. So, okay, today was a failure. Next week, it won't be. I will have mastered the marbleizing. I will not allow the marbleizing to whoop me. We'll just put that up there. There's your marbleizing.
Hand into that marbleizing. Show it. Show it who's boss.
But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Look around your craft room and see the stuff that you got. Pull some of them drawers of it. I know a lot of you have a bunch of stuff that you have tucked in your drawers. Get to looking at the stuff you've got in your drawers.
Oh my God.
There's going to be something that'll amuse you.
Yeah, there is stuff tucked in my drawers that amuses me. Oh my gosh. Your wording is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Everybody's so big on organization. You know, I hear people talking all the time about they got this kind of organizer and that kind of organizer. And they got bins for this and they got all kinds of different things that they keep their stuff in. And I know a bunch of you have drawers.
Yeah, we got drawers.
Everybody should have their drawers.
Oh my
So
gosh.
you keep looking in your drawers. There'll be something in there. You're going to have something in there somewhere along the line, whatever kind of craft you've been in, something you forgot about. I'll guarantee you this past week I found a lot of things I forgot about.
You might find paint in your craft. You never know.
Oh my
Linda don't want to talk about her drawers.
God.
Well, Linda, what you got hiding in your drawers that seems to be some secret that you don't want to tell nobody about?
Oh my gosh.
Everybody's got stuff in their drawers.
That's none of you's business.
That's because the rose is still in the closet.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Rose, we all know that you have paint in your drawers, honey.
Oh my gosh. As long as it's not in her crack.
Well, I'm glad that we're making you smile, Fiona.
Is that like junk in my trunk?
Well, yeah, you've all got junk in your trunk too. I'll tell you what.
Oh my God.
Ain't nobody got a bigger trunk than I've got.
Hey, Brenda, Michele at Little Crafts Creation wants to do an ATC swap next month with you.
Cool. Cool. Get in touch with me. Friend me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Send up a flare. Let me know how to get in touch with you, and we'll set it up. I love making ATCs.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that mud in the tub, that could be called a dirty pour.
Oh yeah, that was real dirty. And it was
dirty.
like 50 shades of gray dirty.
No,
For
it's
sure.
50 Shades of Brenda, Michele.
What's that?
It's 50 Shades of Brenda.
Oh my gosh, 50 shades of Brenda.
But see, this is what happens when you don't practice it ahead of time, doing it before the show. Most of the stuff that I do here, I don't do on the fly on the show. And this is why.
Oh, it was a happy accident.
Oh, well. This is how we learn.
Panties.
Seriously.
That I'm not perfect, just like all the rest of you.
I'm far from perfect. I'm so far from it.
Oh.
Drawers and a dirty pour.
He said, do not mention drawers and a dirty pour in the same sentence.
And which brings me to another thing. Somebody was asking the other day on one of the shows, what is a dirty pour? And I don't know that it ever really got answered correctly. So anybody that happens to be listening here that's wondering what a dirty pour is, I mean, I've given my joke rendition of it. that it's acrylic paint poured on leather and then beat with a whip. But really, what a dirty pour is, just so that there's no real misunderstanding, nobody takes me at face value on it, is you take a cup and you pour all your different colors of paint in that cup that you're going to pour on your canvas.
Gross.
That's what a dirty pour is.
Oh my God.
So, you might have some black and some white and some orange and some teal and some yellow, 5 or 6 different colors poured in that cup. Then you're going to flip it upside down on your canvas, and that's what they call a dirty pour. It's not, somebody said that you had to put the paint in a dirty cup. No, that's not a dirty pour. So, so there's no misunderstanding. But I still think it'd be cool to pour it on leather and beat it with a
I can't. Oh my gosh.
I mean, what do you reckon we'd end up with if we poured it on leather and beat it with a whip?
This is
a Will Black.
This video's flagged. You're getting flagged. You're getting flagged. Oh gosh. Oh, my eyes are just crying. Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Let's just stay and chat. This is hilarious. Hi, Andrea. Welcome.
Oh, hey, Andrea. You're having a great time.
Oh, Spanky went shopping. She got her a torch and some butane, some Floetrol, and some silicone. She's ready. You got paint to go with that, Spanky?
What is that?
Because the only thing that sounds like you're missing is the paint. Because you can pour on about anything. I've been pouring on cardboard.
What is the torch and the butane for?
Oh, well, when you do the pour, you pour the paint out on, whatever, cardboard canvas, whatever you're pouring it on. And then when you get the paint, poured to where you want it, because you'll lift the canvas up, slide it one way, slide it the other way, till you get the paint situated on the canvas the way you want it. Then you're going to torch it. And the reason you torch it is to pop the cells, because you've used some silicone in your mix. And the silicone is what brings the cells out in the paint.
Oh, I'm burning my house down. Oh my God. I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't have
to watch a video on that. Holy crap.
I don't have a torch and butane, but what I do have is a very high-powered.
Oh no, Kiki. Well, that's a little scary for me.
I have a high-powered heat gun, and I learned the trick with that is that you have to hold it back away from whatever you poured, because the air from the heat gun will blow the paint around on the canvas, and you don't want to rearrange your design. But yet, if you hold it back, the heat will still hit the canvas and pop the cells. Here's the trick with that.
Rose. Oh my God. 70 Acre Studios. Okay.
Yeah, that's Melissa's channel, and I strongly urge everybody to subscribe to her channel. She's trying to hit 1,000, and she's real close.
Okay.
And she does pours on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern time on her channel.
Schedule these pours. Right.
She pours on everything. Last night she was pouring on record albums.
Which that's because I'm stopping. Okay. I turned my camera on, guys.
Yep.
I see this. I see what you got in front of you.
Okay, let's click on Brandy and let her show us what she's got going on there.
Okay. So let's see. I hope y'all can see okay. I don't have a overhead camera like all these fancy ladies do. So right now y'all are just looking at the side of my craft drawers. Here's the drawers. There you go. There's my drawers that are shoved now.
Brandy's showing her drawers.
Got her drawers out.
This I actually made last year, but I thought I would show it off. It's technically my little fantasy book. Let's see. Can you see it good?
Yeah, that's pretty.
I can see it fine. Yeah.
This was self-taught. It's on the side. I have all of it sewn together. It's just got a headband trim on it.
Brandy,
Yes,
you might talk a little closer to the microphone, honey, so they can hear you better.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Is that better?
You need to talk into the microphone.
Yeah, you sound like you're in a phone booth.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Speak up.
I am. I'm practically yelling.
Come on, Brandy, let it out.
My husband is probably downstairs like, what in the hell is she yelling for? Okay. All right. Because my microphone is actually on my laptop right next to the camera. So, there we go. Is that actually about as good as I'm going to get it? So, listen. All right. I added some beaded trim to the bottom. And this is basically my fantasy book. Like, I've always wanted to do hair, but I ain't got it down to get me there, so it's never gonna happen. So I basically just cut and I'm gonna show my little makeup. There we go. Okay. So this is my book, and now I'm gonna do the cover. And I've got this little picture of a canal, Eiffel Tower, a little postcard, and I made this little bottle, and it's got 2 little scrolls in it. Rose behavior stuff. And then if you open it, like this is all fabric. I know. Okay, and then there's a little pocket right here. This is all actually, for the most part, it's all antique lace. So I have a little picture, and this is actually printed. I printed it onto the fabric. I cannot remember at the moment how I did it, but it's got done. But I put a little pocket here. And in the 20s. Michele, please.
We can't hear you. It sounds like you're underwater, honey. Everybody says get her out of that muddy water. You got a fan running or something?
No.
Weird. It just sounds really weird, like you're in a bucket.
Huh.
But they're loving the book. The book is pretty.
Oh yeah, they like the book.
I mean, all right, now I'm like literally on top of my laptop. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
I think what the issue is maybe it needs you to face it. Maybe it is a directional microphone in the laptop, and that's the problem. You're not facing it, so it's not picking up the audio.
Aim it down and on your book.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn it. So all you're gonna see is probably like lady parts. Okay, now that you can see me.
Tata!
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, good. Thank God.
There you go. Much better.
Okay. So, oh my God.
Very good.
Sorry about the cleavage.
We're all
right.
ladies. Well, you know.
So this was my great grandmother's, and it actually came from, I think she took some sort of trip, and it used to be a compact mirror, but it fell apart. So I actually added it onto the lace book.
That's very pretty.
Thank you. And then it has jingly bits and just little diamantes on here. And like I said, this is a tag. This is old vintage lace. It came like this. I don't know what it used to be. Probably part of a doily or something. And there's actually a ton of them in here. And then, so everybody can hear me good now, right?
Yes. Very good.
Sweet.
Keep going.
Perfect. Okay. This I actually printed thanks to Avery. They have a specialized paper that you can print and have it I used freezer paper and attached it to the fabric. So this picture is actually on the fabric now. So I have that, and then
I think I'm going to need a tutorial on that.
This is the only one I have ever done.
You know, on that freezer paper thing. That's a great idea.
Oh, okay. I'll try.
I would love a tutorial on that. Thank you.
But then there's this little pocket, and then there's this little pocket with a little lady in there. You can see it.
I love the Perry.
Oh, just wait. Your favorite page will be coming, Michele.
Hot darn.
And then here's another one I did that's on fabric. This is actually on fabric, and then I added it to, I think it's either like muslin or some sort of something or another. But I threw in I cut in some corners, and then down here is just a little flower, and then some trim. Every page has got something on it that's different. Be it vintage trim underneath, or this eyelash type trim. And then I added some embellishments across here and up this way.
Everybody's loving it.
Well, thank you. This thing was a pain. Let's see, because I'm having to look at it upside down now. I actually made this flower.
I'd like a tutorial on that too, please.
It's basically just needle and thread, and then I hot glued the pleats into it, like these little pleats right here. Those are all hot glued.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just one single layer.
Huh.
And then I have a frame here with some ladies, and then this is actually Marie Antoinette, and then a fan that I made, and then just some more trim. And then this is going to be Michele's favorite page. I know it. Since it's in Paris and it's French, I had to do The Moulin Rouge.
With the key too. That's it.
Yep. I threw in, this is actually a ticket, and it says, I know it's hard to probably read, but it says to Moulin Rouge. And so I added the lips on there and added the rose. And then this right here, this is open. This is actually a shirt applique, I believe. And it's
That's like your 50 Shades page, girl.
well, I had to do the Moulin Rouge, and then on the bottom for this trim, it has little booties, a luggage case for cameo, an umbrella, and a little carriage along with some red pearls.
Love. That's gorgeous.
Thank you. And then this one, I just kept simple. Another fabric picture. And then this has got like some little hideaway pockets. So you can kind of just put stuff in there if you want to. And this is a half doily that I took and put a doily over top of. And then Kiki, this is one of those Pebios. I know you're going to know what I'm talking about. That's one of the, it's just a little ephemeral part, but I actually did that with Pebio paint. And then some more trim, of course. And then this is one of my favorite pages. I have this one from Fabric, and then another little flower. I actually didn't do this one, but I know how to do these. These are actually really fun. This part's my favorite. This is more of that vintage lace, and if you open it, it says "Je t'aime," which means, of course, I love you in French.
Did you make that envelope?
Yes, ma'am. All out of fabric.
Tutorial.
It's just the square, the little triangles, and I put them all together and made it look like envelope.
That's gorgeous, Brandy.
Thank you. And since I'm obsessed with French macaroon, so believe it or not, this is a little French macaroon. It's a keychain, so it's squishy. And then there's tea, and then little fabric embellishments, and then a Ladre, which is one of their large macaron companies. And then some more embellishments here and there. And then I've got this one all blinged out.
Yeah, you do.
And then there's a page. Just simple.
Wow.
On this one.
Love that flower.
This one?
The script one.
Oh, this one, yeah. I don't know. I added some, I gave it some texture and I crinkled it up because it was a little too flat and just like a regular type of flower. So I crushed it up and now it's like really stiff. It doesn't want to move.
That's pretty.
And then here's the last of the inside of the book with just old doilies, old buttons, new buttons, pieces of doilies, and then some shiny stuff. And then the back, since like I said, this was my fantasy trip. Oh, that piece is, oh no, it's just flopped over. I thought it was coming off. It says au revoir, which means goodbye, and then until we meet again in French. And then the original picture of an old Eiffel Tower printed onto fabric. And that's my book.
I love it.
That's that special book. Okay,
That is gorgeous.
Now, don't make anybody sick.
Everybody's loving it for sure.
Well, thank you. I'm terrified to do YouTube, so.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
you're
gonna
on it
yank
right
that
now. You're doing
I will be
fine.
yanking that out of her.
It's a piece of cake.
Okay, we can all click back on me. I wanted to bring a couple things to everybody's attention here. Little Crafts Creations is doing a challenge over on her channel and would like everybody to sub her channel and watch her shows there about her challenge that she's got going. And Mandy A, she needs subs on her channel. So you can sub her channel. I put a link in the description of this video so you can find it there, or she's in the chat room. You can click those three dots after her chat, if you wave your mouse over her comments, you'll see the 3 dots come up behind her. And you click on those and it'll take you to her channel on another tab in your browser, and you can sub her channel. She said she's got something special going on tonight that she's going to be teaching. So you can check her out and see what she's going on. And there again, sub Michele if you haven't subbed her. Sub Crafty Mamas. Sub. Words are hard. Sub 70 Acres if you haven't subbed her, because Melissa does the pours and she'll teach you a lot on how that works.
Peddler's doing a giveaway too. It's a berry bag.
So that's what we're here for, is to try to help each other and sub to each other and support each other in our endeavors, whatever they may be. One more thing I wanted to show you, because I thought of this while Brandy was showing her book. I don't know if you've ever tried this before or not, but a while back I got these stick pins that were bezels. And I wondered what I was going to do with these bezeled stick pins. And I had some clear cabochons laying here. And I got to looking at those. And if you put a picture inside that bezel, and I know this is not going to show up on camera. I'm going to try to get it in the light so that you can see it. But I put a picture inside the bezel. And then I put the clear cabochon on top of it. And it magnifies the picture down in the stick pin. And that is not going to show up for love nor money on that camera. Maybe just a little bit. You can make out a little hint of it. And then to attach the cabochon to the bezel, I used E6000 because hot glue would not work. You know, you're gluing glass to metal. So hot glue is not going to work on that. And then I went around the edge with some stickles to kind of bling it a little bit. And I put some beads on the stick pin part. And I did 2 of those. And I don't know if this one will show up any better or not on camera. Probably not. But
I like them.
I love those.
You can see her down in there.
It's beautiful.
I like it.
So that's a different take on the stick pins that I tried. And it worked. Unlike the mud that I made noise.
Hi, Melissa.
Hey, there she is. Hey, Melissa, how you doing? We've been pimping out your channel. Melissa missed me making mud water.
She's gonna have to go back and definitely watch it.
Oh, not everything works every time you try it. But hey, I think that's probably about all we got for everybody. We've been on here jawing for about an hour and a half, so you know, I think we probably entertained them more than they wanted to be.
Well, they got to hear about painting cracks and, you know, berry bags and saw my cleavage. So it's just been one hell of a show.
How to check their drawers and.
Oh, yep. Got to see my drawers.
Brenda was riding a NAS. I got my subby list here because I'm afraid if I click on them right now. Oh, Kateri just came in. What did she miss? Kateri and missed it all, girl.
Lord have mercy.
I got my subby list because I'm afraid if I click on them right now that I'll be kicked off here. So I'm writing them down. I got Peddlers. I got Mandy A and 70 Acres you guys told me to go to.
Yep. Yep, you're going to want to go to all those and check them out.
Thank you, Wendy.
Will do.
Yeah, if anybody has channels that you want to subs to, don't be afraid to put them in the chat room there. You know, how we learn and how we know who's got
try. Oh,
we support each other.
Michele has a channel.
I was waiting for you to see that.
Lily's not in here, but Michele's got Crafting Mamas. You can do hers. Linda McAllister has a channel. You can sub her.
I'll be live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week.
You know that's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
What time, Michele?
Whenever I feel like it. No, it's around 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Around then, while Jay's in school. I'm working on, I started that flower journal last week, so we're going to be working on that.
Fuller's Medley is also in the chat room. He does spray paint art. So
yep, I have him written down.
You might want to check him out too.
I'm definitely going to.
He needs subs.
Wait, Live to Learn Dana. Okay, I don't have that one.
Hey, Michele.
Yeah.
Wendy wants to know what's in your mouth.
You don't want to know what's in my mouth. You don't want to know.
As long as you didn't find it in your drawers.
Pleasure. I can't tell you what's in my mouth.
Did you find it in your drawers?
I did not find it in my drawers.
All right.
Darn it.
Because you don't want to be putting things in your mouth that you got in the drawers.
Okay, I'm subscribed to Little Crap Creations. That's Michele. I have her. I think Rose just needs to go on and do some stand-up.
No kidding.
Don't like Rose
Linda.
It's my hands up at the closet door trying to look at her paint that she's got in a crate.
Hi, Arlene. Arlene was okay. Do you want to know what my guilty pleasure is? What I snack on? I don't even want to tell you. I don't want to tell. It's pork rinds. I love barbecue pork rinds.
How did we not hear you crunching?
Because I did it really, I let it melt in my mouth first, and then I did it really up in the bag.
She's soaking them pork rinds.
I put it right on my tongue. Just right on there. I got Peddlers, Mandy A, 70 Acres, Live to Learn, which is Dana. Swear, Rose needs one. Pork rinds, is that what they're calling it now? See what I mean?
She's soaking them pork rinds in her tea. She's got a cup of tea there on her desk.
Oh.
Rose totally needs a channel.
Oh, that's got to be terrible, Kiki. Listen to somebody chew and crunch food. Yeah, that's awful.
Well, girls, I think we've probably done about as much damage as we can do tonight. And Mandy's chomping.
I think we pretty much messed them all up.
Yeah. Mandy's chomping at the bit to do her thing. Surely to goodness, we did something here tonight that will encourage people to get their mojo back and get to crafting. Because everybody's got to be creative.
Brenda, you helped me kill my craft block.
Search Mandy's 31 gifts. Okay.
If you got a craft block, you need to come to me because I guarantee I'll get rid of that craft block.
You did, and I'm already even playing with the stamp that you gave me.
Gotcha.
We'll find something that will stir you up enough that you're going to want to start crafting.
Heck yeah.
I am involved in just about every kind of craft there is. I mean, I've got tubs of stuff dedicated to different kinds of craft. I've got so much stuff here I can't even get through it all. So,
are you doing, Carrie? Oh.
The Vaseline is for my glue gun, and
for Bernie.
We have to keep Bernie lubed.
Yep, I got some.
Susan. Oh my God.
Yep, I'm the crafting Viagra. I will make you get your craft on now.
Oh my God. This is the day of Brenda.
I ain't bad enough by myself. Look what these people in this chat room do.
I'm so glad no one can see my face. I am so red in the face.
Yeah, see, I like Rose says, I like to do different things, mainly because I have the attention span of a 2-year-old. That's me. You know, I'll be doing something, and then I'll see something else in one of these crates or something sitting around my desk here, and I'll think, oh, isn't that pretty? I mean, it's like, oh, I'm working on this. Oh, look, squirrel. Oh, look, bird. You know, I mean. Something
have shiny
sparkly.
Yes, Fiona, I snorted. I did. I'm not gonna lie.
At least you didn't choke on your pork rind.
I'm chewing on one now, hurrying up because I don't want to choke because somebody's gonna say something funny.
Well, just in case everybody didn't know, I do this one show on Monday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time, Monday nights. And then I may put up videos through the week. I may even go live through the week. You never know what I'm liable to do. So if you don't know what Brenda's up to, you need to sub the channel and click the little bell there that pops up when you sub. And that way you'll get alerts anytime that I put anything up on YouTube and see what I'm up to. This week, Lord, this has been a week for the record books this past week. And this one, I don't know what the future holds. I'm still fighting with Belle. Even though,
you serious? I meant to ask you about that before we went on. My bad.
Yeah, I'm still fighting with them. Those idiots. They keep calling me, and then they sent me an email. The last one was Thursday. They sent me an email, and they've taken some of the stuff off of my charge, but they didn't take it all, and said that they had closed the case. And so I wrote back and I said, well, what are you closing the case for? You don't have it all off my bill. What's the stuff that you're charging me for? And they haven't bothered to answer me. So I guess tomorrow I'm going to have to call them up and fight with them some more, even though I have already gone to small claims court and filed on them. And I go to court on the 25th of September. I will drop that if they will take all that stuff off my bill. But if they're going to push the issue, I'm going after them for all the expense that I'm out.
Heck yeah.
So, you know, they need to just suck it up and credit my account because they're going to be.
They don't know about Brenda.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, I'm still fighting with them. And, you know, if it ain't one thing, it's something else, it seems like. But, you know, I never know what's going to happen in my life from one minute to the next. So other than just to schedule one weekly show right now, that's all I can really tell you. So if I'm up here working in the studio, I'm liable to flip on the camera and go live. Or if I'm working on something, I may just go ahead and record it if it's just going to be something short and just put the video up of it. You just never know with me. You never know. I mean, hell's bells. I may be sitting here going through my drawers for all you know.
He said hell's bells. Oh, my gosh. Yep, that's what I've been doing. Just clicking on my camera and just going for it.
Yep.
No rhyme, no reason. Might as well just sit and craft with everyone. I don't care. I love it.
This is how everybody learns.
Yep.
So I think, ladies, we will call this to a halt. And I thank everybody for being in the chat room. You are my tribe. I love you all. And give it a thumbs up. You know, if you liked what I did tonight, even if you didn't like what I did tonight, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, you know, whatever you want to do. And, you know, either way, it gives me credit that people have been watching the channel. So with that, we will bid you all adieu, and I'll see you next week, if not before. Night.
I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.